Hey friends, welcome to the iPhone app creation tutorial. This is video number 24. Thanks for sticking along with me for so long. It's been over 2 months I've been recording, and I greatly appreciate all your likes, support, and comment. Hopefully, it is helping you out in learning how to create, elegant looking apps using the Xcode interface of iOS. Today, we are going to continue further in our journey of learning, and if you do feel that I'm doing a great job, do go ahead and subscribe the channel, and also spread the message. If you have friends, colleagues, who can benefit from this tutorial, go ahead and share the URL with them. Okay, let's go ahead and open Xcode book tracker tutorial. And if you recall, last time what we did was we were just starting off with a search functionality. We did create a skeleton. So if you run this, we created the view controller, search view controller, wrote a simple query based on a condition, which was nothing but what you enter in the search text field, it searches. So you see that these are the books you have, and what you can do is you can go to search and then search for the book you're looking for. And if it is there in the repository, it will display it. Right now, we are just displaying in the screen. You can see here, when I was searching dead week, it came out. You have to enter the full name. For example, if you go here, life as we knew it, the word it saved my life, Iron Thunder. So let's go ahead and search for Iron Thunder, for example. Iron Thunder, oops, Thunder. And when you search, it gives you right there. Few things to note: it is absolutely case sensitive at this point in time. So if you type Iron Thunder in lowercase, it is not going to search. Just to show you that, I'm deleting the output window, and let's say I search the same Iron Thunder, let's say with a small t, because we stored it with a capital T, Thunder. You search here, it doesn't come with any result. If you write Iron Thunder and then you give a space after that, you search, it won't. So you have to give the exact name, the full name. In practical life, it doesn't work that way. So you're going to learn about that. But before we go into that, let's try to get that output value from your console to the table that we created. Okay, so go ahead and stop it. I think we already created a table. That's the table view, the search table view. What we are going to do, we are going to implement it. You have done this before, so you know the drill. So what you need to do is get your table delegates. So table view delegate and table view data source, right? Delegate is for the link to know that this is a table, and data source is for the data. Moment to put that is giving an error. Why is that? There's some confirm protocol that we need to implement. So there are two of them. There are two ways to do that. You can write on yourself, or you can just click on the error. It'll say, do you want to add the protocol steps? You say fix it, and it will add the steps for you, which is the number of rows in a section, and then what do you want to do with each row, right? So I'll bring it down here, maybe right after the view did load. How about that? Okay, now in the did load, what I need to do is I need to set the delegate. There are two ways to set the delegate for the table. You can do it programmatically, like for example, you already have a outlet for the table, which is a search table view. You can say delegate equal to self, and then you can set the data source as well. Table view data source equal to self. The other way to do it is you can form the links. Right now I'm doing it programmatically. You can actually go to the view controller. You can drag the table controller to the view controller, and then you can set the delegates accordingly. You can do the linkage there itself. But for now, we are doing it programmatically. We have put the delegates for the data source and for the table view accordingly. So once you have done that, the file is aware of the table view. It knows that it has to populate the values accordingly, right? Then you have the section. You already have the value stored in what? The books. That's what we defined, right? The books. So you say how many rows? You say, well, books dot count, right? So if you have more than one, it will give you more than one. If it is one, it will give you one. In our case right now, since we're giving the exact name, it will be always one, but that's okay. We'll take the count of the book. And what do you need to do here? So here, you know that you have to first define a cell. You can say let cell equals to the table view, which is the variable you have here, which is table view. So you can table view dot dequeue reusable cell with identifier. Okay, and the identifier you have to give in the file. For now, let's say the identifier is cell. Okay, and then when we have this, we have to say the cell dot text label dot text is equal to, you have the books, right? So books index path dot row, which is the index 0 1 2, so it will be 0 for the first time, 1 for the next. We've done this before, right? So from that index you need what? You want to display the book name. Once you have it, you can return the cell. Okay, now let's make sure that this name cell is there. What happened here? Okay, all right, it's asking me to wrap it. That's fine. I will go back to my main storyboard, and here the table view that I have, I will select the table view, and then I'll go to the properties. There are no prototype cells, so I'll make it one prototype cell. Perfect. And the prototype cell is created, and for this cell the identifier name is cell. You can give any name. I've given cell, that's what I'm using. So this is set, and the way I was saying this, to connect this, is you can press hold control, and then you can option, and then you can drag to the view control out of the file. Okay, so this has been done. I think we have all set this up. Let's have this ready now. What we need to do, we need to go back to, we have given the cell, go back to the file once again, return cell, book count, everything looks good. We are good to go. So when we run this now, instead of displaying the value on the console, it will display in the table, hopefully so, right? So let's go ahead and run this. Okay, right, so now I go to search and look for dead wake, and if I do search, it's not displaying. And yeah, because what's happening is, that's another point, right? So once we are loading the search records, what we need to do is, after the record is done, we need to reload the table as well, right? How do you do that? Your table name is search table view dot reload data, right? So every time you run this, you will have the value, then you reload, it will run this to stubs, the protocol stubs, to the function. Hopefully it will work this time. Run this now, go to search, say dead wake, search, there you go, right? You say iron thunder, okay, search, bingo, there it goes. Okay, so we have a basic skeleton there. I have not designed the table well. We can do all of the designing. We can give a nice color to the cell, make a nice border, things like that, and we can give nice title. You should do that, give a header and all. You should try it out. We'll try to beautify the table later, but we are trying to solve some of the fundamental problem. The first problem I want to solve is, hey, what if I give a space after Iron Thunder and I search? This should be not blank. It should still give, because I've just added a space, right? So how do you do that? Let's try to fix one by one the issues we have. So this is, you understood this search table reload, because right after loading record, this is the search button. When you click, it is reloading the table. Now coming here, when you're searching, you see you're saying equal to means exact same value of what you give here, and it is case sensitive. So what you can do is, if you say dot, we'll do the first thing. Trimming characters is like trimming characters. You can trim any character. Right now we want to trim all the white spaces. When you say white spaces, even if you give in the front or in the back, not in between, it will just trim it. Usually they say common mistake, you press a space bar subconsciously and you're saying, hey, I'm doing everything wrong, right, why the results are not coming. So by doing this, regardless of whether the white space is not, it will work out. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's give some space in the beginning, and I say dead weight. Notice that I'm still typing in uppercase first letter. Sentence case is what is known as, and I'm giving space, but that is required because it is still case sensitive. It is only taking the white spaces. If I search now, bingo, you get the dead weight even if you have spaces, right? Now let's try to do the next one. What if I want to type in small letters? Now for that, I want to show you first how the screen looks now, and tell you that, all the name that you have stored, fortunately what you have done is we have made the first letter capital, right? So dead weight, dead is, D is capital, W is capital, life as we know it, the first letter of each word is capital. So is to be read, the books you have here, so what you have here, right? So not this one, there is an exception here. So talking to stranger, the second two is T is small. So one thing to do that is you need to have both sides equal, right? So when you're storing, you have to make sure storing in a particular format. When you store in a particular format, searching in that format becomes easier. But for now, since the majority of it, the first letter is capital, we'll use that. So what we want to say is that, hey, yes, you're trimming the white spaces, but do me another favor, will you? Which is, whenever you're sending, make the first letter always capital. If it is capital, great. If it is not, change, convert to capital. So to do that, you have a built-in function known as capitalize. When you say capitalized, the first letter of every sentence will be capitalized. But remember that for that, when you're saving, you have to save it the first letter capital, and we'll come to that. But for now, I think talking to string, barring that, every other book should be able to search accordingly, right? So let's try it. Let's try with the combination of spaces. Let's say Iron Thunder, or let's just, I give spaces and I say the last scintilla. Okay, so if you see here, the last scintilla, when it's coming up here, you can absolutely see the spaces on both sides. You see that the letters are all in small cases. And now when you search it, oh, it's still not coming. Why is that? I said capitalize. Let's look at the book name. The last scintilla. Maybe the scintilla spring. Maybe I took a complicated one. Scintilla. Scintilla. Okay, let's try another one. Let's say Iron Thunder with spaces. It's coming. The last scintilla. Maybe there was a dot after scintilla because I put the space, sometimes put a dot. Now if you see here, still not coming. Okay, I have to see that maybe at storing we have given a space there. The last scintilla. Okay, maybe while storing we gave a space, that's the reason it's not coming. But let's try something else as well, like space, dead space, wake. There you go, you get it, right? The other thing that will happen is, what if I only enter few characters? I want the name by only entering few characters, let's say dead or wake or something like this, right? So for that, instead of equal to here, you can say contains. When you say contains, it will only look for the fraction of the string that you're providing. So if you go back here, and you have to stop and run it because I did a code change. It doesn't do a hot load, right? So if you do a code change, you have to stop and run it again. And if I say, let's say W and search, bingo, you get 2, right? Life as you knew it has W, and the var that save my life has W as well, right? And it has 3 actually, but our table is small maybe, so it's, yeah, there you go. Dead wake is also there. We'll make the table a little large. You see, dead wake is also, say it's printing 3 here, it's showing 3. If you make the table large enough, it will show you all. Isn't it cool, right? And again, it is taking care of the small and the capital letter. We say S and search. See, talking to stranger, the word that saved my life, and the last sentence is also coming up. Okay, maybe there's a space over there, so you have many names here. So let's do that. Let's make a table a little larger. You can do that by going to main storyboard. You have to do 2 things. One, make it let's say bring it all the way down here. How about that? And once you do that, you need to make sure you update the constraints, right? Otherwise it will go haywire from a display standpoint. So now when you run it, okay, now once you run it, you go back and let's do the S again, which is many name. There you go. You have all. If you have W, there you go. You have all the names here. Okay. Now that has done the job. It has got all the name that you need, and it is bringing it the way you want to. I think we'll stop our chapter today on this. I just want to show you one more thing before I stop. In the next chapter, what we want to do is we want to do a few things. One, we want to beautify this table. It should look a little pretty. Second, when you're searching, you should make the text field empty. Try to do that so that you're ready for the next search. And then when we get a book, maybe when you click on the book, you get all the other details as well. That will be nice, right? So you get the author, all the other details that if you need to see. The other thing is that you can search by anything, right? Right now I'm only searching by title. How about people want to search by author name? People want to search by genre. How do we enable that? So right, there are multiple ways to do that. We can say, hey, there's a text box for author, there's a text box for name, there's a text box for fiction. Or I can say that, hey, you can type anything, I'll search you based upon what you're searching. So that will be nice. So let's do that. Let's try to learn that as well and see that how we can get that done. That will complete our search and in a way bring to an end of a fully functional app. We'll talk about few more functions to add on, but for now, if you have any question, just post a comment in my YouTube channel. I will come back to you promptly, and keep learning and keep subscribing the channel and spreading the news if you have other friends who would like to learn iPhone app coding. Thank you. Bye.